What is poppin', guys? It is Sean Don back with the technical analysis. Here we have Reese Willis. He is my newest online coaching client, the newest member of SD Throws Club, SD Training Club, whatever you want to call it, SDTC. So yeah, here we have him with a 16-pound hammer, 3 turns. He's only been throwing for 2 months, and he's looking for some technical. He's looking for some technical direction with the hammer. Yeah, so let's take a look. Nice windy day in Missouri. I'm thoroughly impressed with how good this throw looks after only throwing for 3 months. I guess I didn't really have very good instruction my first couple months of throwing, so I didn't look quite this good. Said his PR is just about 44 meters, and there's definitely more there, that's for sure. So let's break it down. Let's come through the winds. You already got the step back, step up with the first wind. If anything, I would like to say maybe hold that step up until the second wind. So this first wind, keep that right foot where it is. Bring the ball around your head. Keep your shoulders open, facing the right side. What would be, I guess, 3 o'clock if 12 o'clock was the back of the circle. So keep that right foot where it is. Come around, keep those shoulders open. Have your head face the right side. That way you can catch the ball nice and early. Whereas on this first wind right here, after that step up, you don't really connect to the ball until about there. And then step up into the second wind so you can build that acceleration. And then, yeah, that should set some things up better. Basic concept of the hammer throw: if the ball is not accelerating, then it's decelerating, and if it's decelerating, that means you're losing connection. So if you don't build in tempo throughout these 2 winds, and not to say that you have to go from like fast to faster, but if you got to start slow and then work your way up, maybe 5-10% each wind or each turn, to feel that ball and to keep that connection, to keep that acceleration. So try to make that little change to your start, Reese, and then as you come around to the second wind, you can see your weight's pretty balanced, maybe a little heavy on this right side right there. But as you come through, once again, your head is just facing 12 o'clock the whole time, or facing 0, and because of that, you're more likely to lead or to peak with it around the corner. As you can see right here, your head is just a little bit ahead of the ball. Try to, on the second wind, like once again, once you have that, you find the rhythm of that slow first wind and then a strong second wind, and then kind of holding and letting the ball come through and build tension on the entry. The ball will pass much better. So once again, I think opening your shoulders up and having your head face the right would help remedy this problem. It'll let the ball pass better. You'll have better connection, better patience in each turn. But otherwise, as you come through, you see this left hip where it is. All right, that's where you want that left hip to stay. The left side is the axis. Left shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. This whole left side is the axis of the throw as you're turning on that left heel, especially when you start off a 3 heel turn, or start off a heel on a 3 turn. And then also, side note, tangent, your hands drop just a little bit as you come through. As the ball comes through and entry, your hands drop and your hips drop. That's no good. Ideally, you want to keep your hips one level throughout the entirety of the throw. You don't really want to sink them down or raise them up. And if you do, you never want your hips to sink as the ball is coming down. You never want your hips to rise as the ball is coming up, because that means you're giving to the ball. And if you give to the ball, that means you are losing force, losing tension, losing connection, losing acceleration, all that stuff. So as you come through 0, hold that head, find some focal point back at 0, whatever it might be, maybe the fence or a car or a light post or a garbage can, whatever it might be. Look at that thing as the ball comes past 0, and then let the ball pass and pass and pass and pass. But like I said, because your hips sink, and as you come through zero, that hip where it was, you see that left hip shift backwards, 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 backwards as it comes through each frame. And once again, when you start off a heel turn, it's hard. It's really hard to keep that left hip in place because you kind of have to throw your weight back and do everything you can to get that ball around. But I can't stress enough, really try to use this right side, so this right hip, this right knee, this right leg, whatever it might be, use this right side to slam the ball in on the entry and really take you around that left side. Keep that left hip where it is. Using this right leg is key to solidifying that left side. And once again, the more stable the left side is, the left side axis, the more stable that is, the more efficient the throw is going to be. The more your hips shift back like they do right here, the less efficient you're going to be. And then that also brings up another point. There's a lot of stuff going on in this wind and these entries, the winds in the entry, because how you start the throw is how you finish the throw, so you got to set it up right, be consistent with the winds in the entry, and then, you know, to second turn, third turn will be better, and then once you get to 4 turns, you know, all 3 turns will be better if you can just really solidify this entry. Posture. So in the introductory email, I kind of spoke on posture, and once again, everything is kind of related when it comes to posture and hips and the left side axis and letting the ball pass and all that stuff. The better job you do at keeping your posture, so that means, and a side view would be good here. As you, this position right here, I would bet that your shoulders are probably about 6 to 8, maybe even 10 inches forward in front of your hips. Your hips are backwards, your shoulders are forward. That is generally, I regard that as poor posture, because once you break your hips, once you break at the hips and your shoulders come forward, you lose the ability to use this right side. And when that happens, your only way to accelerate is to use the left side, which is, you can see, is already happening right here. Those hips are back, those shoulders are forward, right leg is behind the ball. It's hard to tell exactly where the wire is at. I guess right about there. Your right leg is behind it and your left leg is ahead of it. So once you break posture, you can no longer turn with the implement. So, like I said, keep those hips underneath your shoulders. A side view would be better. I'll have to send you a picture of what I mean in regards to posture. The hips under, sort of posterior pelvic tilt. You can even see right here, hips are way back, shoulders are forward, left side's ahead, right side's behind. Ideally, hips are forward more, shoulders are back over the hips. But hips generally need to be more forward as the ball goes out left. That'll have the right side working better, which means if the right side works better, it means left side's pulling less, which means the 2 sides of the body are working together. Once again, just a more efficient throw. And then as you come through, because you lead with that left side, you kind of get this premature pickup of the right foot, and so then you come around and you get pulled around, kind of spinning your wheels on this first turn. As you can see, that left side leads, and then you're going to come step around and you over rotate this first turn. And this was typical in all the throws that you sent me. This right foot comes around, and that is just a function of, once again, that, like I said, that left side leads. So you have too much rotational energy. The hammer throw is a linear event. In a way, your body needs to move linearly while the ball moves around you rotationally. It's a pendulum. Once again, I explained that via the email, and it'll take a while to learn. This has only been 2 months of training for you, and it took me about 6 years to really figure out the pendulum. But yeah, catch on the first turn. Once again, you come around, you catch late. Ball's probably, you know, about 315 degrees. And then because of that, once you catch late and once your posture's broken, you really can't use that right side at all throughout the entire throw, at least not effectively. So from here, you're going to see more left side pulling, more hips breaking, more shifting back away from the ball. Like I said, you want to drive your hips towards your hands as a way to think about keeping that left side stable and moving this right side around the left side. So the right side's the engine, the left side's the axis. You want to move it around it, not pull that left side back to get the right side through. Once again, it's inefficient. So left side pulling back, hips are back, shoulders are forward. You see what I'm saying here now? You need to go forward with the hips, back with the shoulders. And then you lift a little bit too with your hands. Just try to relax. You don't ever need to create orbit. The ball will create its own orbit naturally if you relax and work the system properly, aka work your hips and keep your posture. And then so this is a better catch in terms of not coming around as much, but still that left side leads so much and you pick up early, so that causes you to catch late. The longer you run the ball out left each turn, the earlier you're going to catch, as long as you maintain that axis, that left side axis. So then you catch, and once again, posture is a little better here because as you progress through the throw, your body naturally wants to have its hips underneath its shoulder. It's the powerful position. If you think about doing like Olympic lifts, your triple extension, hip, knee, ankle, your hips are pretty much underneath your shoulders in that final pull. Whereas most hammer throwers are shoulders forward, hips back, and it feels powerful, but it's not. It's inefficient. And then once again, because that left side pulls in the previous turn, you come around, catch a little late. You're going to have more weight on this right leg, and because you have more weight on this right leg, this left side is going to flop a little bit. So you see there's a few frames right there, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, where that left heel comes off the ground. That's a big no-no. Once you feel that left foot come off the ground, that means you have too much weight on your right side. And honestly, as soon as that happens to me, I dump the ball because I know it's not going to be a good throw and it's a waste of energy. But that's just me. You can still finish the throw if you want, but it's also kind of ingraining bad habits. So always try to keep more weight on that left side. Once again, that left side axis. So you catch. Posture is still broken. Can't really use that right leg at all. It's turning. This is by far your best turn in terms of turning the right side with the ball. But then you just have so much weight on that right side, so this left leg straightens out to keep tension on the ground, and that's going to cause you to shift back just a little bit. And once again, you get pulled around. You kind of spin your wheels, and then you're reacting to the ball, but in a bad way. So the ball pulls you around. Balls, yeah. Once again, catch. This is your latest catch because that left leg straightened out the most in that last turn. But then you still come through on the finish and hit a pretty solid square finish, which is something that I even struggle with a lot of the time. So that's good. But that being said, people think a good finish means a good throw, and it's not true. Like I said, the majority of the throw happens before the finish, which is common sense, I think. I feel redundant saying that, but the winds in the entry is what needs to happen correctly. So slow first wind, strong second wind, hold in the entry, hips underneath the shoulders, more weight on the left side. You can see just right here, this is going to predispose you to being heavier on that right side, not having enough weight on the left side. So when you set up in your winds, load up this left side more. Like I said, this is your axis. And then keep those hips forward, let the ball go long out left, work that right side with the ball, work that right side into the left side, catch, better posture, hips more underneath, shoulders back over this left side. You want to think about having this left shoulder behind that left hip. So that left shoulder should be back here, left hip there. That'll set up that left side better. You can work that right side more. You can run the ball longer, rinse and repeat for the next 2 turns. So the big thing for you over these next 2 months, Reese, is to, we're really just going to have to load up that left side and get that right side working and fix your posture. You can do that, and you can set that right. You're early enough in your career where that can really have a lasting effect, and it'll be something you won't really have to worry about for the rest of your career. Whereas, somebody like myself who didn't learn this stuff until, last year, I'm still relatively inconsistent with it. And yeah, the earlier you learn good technique, which, like I said, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of where I was. The earlier you can learn technique, the more stable it'll be in your later years as you mature as a hammer thrower. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure you're going to have plenty of questions. Just let me know. So yeah, if you guys out there watching this want a technical analysis of your own, go to my website, www.seandonley.biz. Technical analysis, I have 2 kinds, Instagram and these in-depth technical analysis. 2 different options. Take your pick, whatever you need to get the gains, the technical gains to throw far. It's waiting right here. Just hit me up. Let me know. And if you're interested in joining SDTC, or if you just want some online coaching, whether it's technique, Lifting, throwing, programming, doesn't matter. Let me know. Once again, go to my website, services page, SeanDonnelly.biz, and hit me up, and let's get to work. And it's the off season, preseason, whatever you want to consider it. So now's the time to make some changes and see what you can improve. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Until next time, Sean Don bids you adieu.